This segment sponsored by Kevin McIntyre, a licensed insurance agent with Health Markets Insurance Agency. Welcome back to our Medicare Because We Care series, where we speak to licensed insurance agent Kevin McIntyre from Health Markets Insurance Agency. Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning, Jessica.
How are you?
I'm great. Good to see you again.
You too. Okay, so we've rolled out this series, and I understand that people have been submitting questions.
Yes, which is great.
Yes, so exciting. Okay, so as we have covered the different Medicare topics over the past few weeks, this is just a reminder. People can actually submit their questions to you via the email that's listed below. And today's question actually comes from Tina. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
She asks, can you explain the difference between Medicare Advantage and Medigap plans?
Absolutely. That's probably one of the most common questions that we get because people do have that choice when they enter Medicare. The first thing we start with is we want to make sure people understand that they need to have Part A and Part B in place, which we've talked about on previous episode, before they're eligible for either a Medigap plan or Medicare Advantage plan. So that is the foundation. And once you have that in place, then you have the choice. But let's start with Medigap.
Okay.
So Medigap is also known traditionally as a traditional Medicare supplement. Traditional Medicare supplements work directly with Original Medicare to cover some of the costs that Original Medicare doesn't cover. So things like coinsurance, co-payments, deductibles. They're offered by private insurance companies. Again, they do work with Original Medicare. And then it's also important if you have a Medigap plan that you also include a drug plan on top of that because those plans don't include drug coverage. So we do need to add that on top as well.
And how does that differ from Medicare Advantage plans?
Okay, so Medicare Advantage plans work a little differently, and Medicare Advantage plans are also known as Part C. So if you've ever heard of Part C, that's the same thing as a Medicare Advantage plan. Medicare Advantage plans are also offered by private insurance companies as an alternative to Original Medicare. They include Part A, Part B, even Part D in a lot of cases. The drug plan is wrapped in. An important thing to remember, though, with Medicare Advantage is that they do operate with networks of doctors and prescriptions. And so it's very, very important when you're enrolling in a Medicare Advantage plan to make sure that the doctors you see and the prescriptions you take are within that company's network and formulary.
Okay, yeah, so they both sound like really great options. So how do you go about helping people decide between the two?
Sure, you're right. They are excellent options. And as I'm educating somebody, as I'm listening to the answers they're giving me, I'm really encouraging them to let their peace of mind guide the discussion. Everybody's different, every situation is different, and so there's really no one-size-fits-all for everyone. But things to consider are that a Medigap plan usually will carry an additional premium above and beyond the Part B premium. But when you go to use your medical care, your out-of-pocket costs are usually lower. Whereas with a Medicare Advantage plan, you could have very little to no out-of-pocket for the plan itself, but then you do participate with co-pays as you use medical care. It really is a person-by-person, case-by-case basis, and we really just let their situation dictate what's best for them.
Right, and that's why it's so important to have a local agent like yourself to help people along the way when making those decisions.
Yes, and we absolutely love what we do. We love to see the light click on, and as people are getting educated, just helping them make that decision is very rewarding.
Right, well, thank you so much, Kevin. That was really great information, and you all remember you can actually email Kevin your questions and it may get answered on a future segment. And if you would like more information about Health Markets Insurance Agency, we'll have their website listed below, and we'll be right back. This segment sponsored by Kevin McIntyre, a licensed insurance agent with Health Markets Insurance Agency.